Warren, do you remember now if that was 91, around 91 or 90?
When you started?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because I know we used to run cover bands years ago.
What day did you
Then
open?
Danny started coming in.
That's the guy. He's the one that started. Yeah.
Is he around yet?
I'm gonna bring up. We're interviewing him soon. Him and Matt Gray.
What's Danny's last name? What was it? Danny? I forget his name.
shit.
He's one of probably the first guy that talked to me because he came in to see. I think we had a metal
We
act
on?
or
You
something.
guys can, I'm just letting you guys go.
So we're recording. All right. So yeah, the first was Danny from the first person to bring hardcore to CC's was Dan from FCK and Fat Chance.
Right. And I'm trying to think if it was 91, 90, 92 when he introduced me to LOA. That was our first, I would say, the first group. Then it was, then we started a little bit more. I think I was still doing some cover stuff with the older people.
Yeah.
Then we kind of just eventually, went with all the hardcore punk. We switched it over. But and there was a lot of old metal bands that were around yet. I can't think of the names now, but they were
Rapid Violence and all them.
yeah, and then there was the ones that had record labels. We had a lot from Roadrunner, Metal Blade. You probably remember more than I did at the time. Typo and Negative. Then they started coming around. We did them. I think
Did them in the garage once across the street.
that's
from
the picture
CC's.
that I showed you.
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
show you the picture?
You didn't show me the picture yet, but
I'm gonna
I
show you
do
the
remember
picture.
seeing them across, not actually in the venue.
When they
across,
did
right?
that, I think it was a Bloody Kisses. That album, they were getting pretty big. So we decided we'll put them across the street in the body. It was a body shop.
Yeah.
So the guy kind of left for the weekend, and we cleaned it up, and we made a stage. We built the stage and everything there. And we did the show. And I remember the day of the show, it started snowing like hell. So we still had like, I don't know, 500 or 600 people that even go. But God knows, been probably 1 to 1,000, I guess. But then it snowed, and I was into that. But it was a good show.
How about the Memorial Day shows? Remember them?
Yeah.
Johnny Leonora used to throw them
Yeah.
from RSB.
Then we used to run those all-day bands. Remember, we'd start like 11 in the morning, and then we'd run out, 20 bands, and all day long. We'd go till at night, till probably 11, 12 o'clock at night. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Any of those bands really stick out to you? Do you still remember?
Oh yeah, a lot of the bands I remember are cheaper as well. Like it says, Option. Remember those? What's his name's their band? The Strength for a Reason. Those guys played there.
Yes,
Those
they did.
guys were always there.
Crutch.
I think Crutch. What was that band from Hazleton? Remember I had them guys? They weren't really
Dysphoria?
hard. No, they weren't really hardcore.
Unseen Holocaust.
Yeah, they were real
yeah.
nice guys. They were more like metal,
Yeah.
but they're really nice guys. I used to.
Mike and John are in
Yeah.
Philadelphia. Last I
You
checked.
see those guys?
I know John is. I think Mike is still in Philly.
Mike is still from.
Yeah. They were. I liked them.
They were great guys. I know I
Yeah.
threw them in a lot of shows. Strength for a Reason opened up for a lot of my bigger shows. Like you said, Option. Oh, there's so many bands. Then there was the punk bands, the national bands, that are going now. And oh my God, I can't think of Mo. We even had the hippie stuff.
Yeah.
Mo. Remember we did Mo?
Yeah.
I remember doing those guys on
I
a
think you had
Thursday night.
Sublime before they were big. I thought you had Sublime before they got big and no one watched them.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cared. Yeah.
But I remember doing Mo. I remember it was a Thursday night.
Uh-huh.
We booked the band, didn't know the band from Adam, and the agent said, well, they're going to bring like the college kids and this and that. I said, well, okay, let's give them a shot. I think we did it for like $775 on a Thursday night. Well, lo and behold, the whole University of Scranton, I think, came down. There wasn't a car in the parking lot. They all took taxi cabs.
Wow.
At the end of the night, it looked like it was, we were in New York City. Like you say, it's like 30 cabs there. Kids just diving into cabs. 10 kids per cab leaving, and they drank the bar was dry. I think by 10 o'clock we're out of there.
Wow.
I just didn't expect it because we never did that kind of crowd,
Yeah.
So it's mostly over 21 that time.
Tell us about your mom and dad. Still, let everybody know they're still going.
Mom and Dad, my father Patrick, he was our doorman. Probably a lot of guys remember him, a lot of girls remember him. Still going, 95 years old. Still cuts his own grass, drives, still gets around good in good health. My mother's still going. She's 90 and still smoking. And she's in good health. The two of them are still living together. They got their own home. He takes care of the house, whatever needs to be done, he still does it. Comes down the store, sees me down the store, helps out. Yes, they're still going. A lot of good memories of CC's. I mean, it was a labor of love. We didn't make a lot of money there, but
Yeah.
tell you what, we had a lot of fun there.
How about the volleyball court of all the bands?
yeah,
They had good
yeah.
times.
Yeah, we had volleyball court going on there, and on breaks, kids would go out there to play in the court. We had a lot of good times there. I never forget the time. I think it was Agnostic Front came in.
Okay.
Vinny, I think his name. Vinny was
Vinny Stigma, yes.
Vinny. I was in the kitchen, and that's maybe 20 feet away from the door. My father's the doorman collecting the money, and I can hear this ruckus at the door, you know, and I thought, I gotta go out and see what's going on. So I go to the door. I said, Dad, what's going on? He goes, well, these guys are trying to get in. I said, Dad, that's the band. I said, you gotta let them in. They're the band. They're the main band. They're trying to sneak in. I said, no. I said, they're cool. And I remember Vinny saying to me, because my name is Vince also, he called me Vince. He said, Vinny, where's your dad from? Is he from Brooklyn? I go, no. He said, he's from Old Forge. He goes, oh, we thought he was from Brooklyn. The way he was acting, he was trying to throw us out. Well, we had such a laugh, I'll tell you. But they were good guys. They, you know, very good good band. And then we had the Mad Ball band.
Yeah.
Mad Ball.
Yeah. They always showed up late.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody was worse than Hatebreed, though.
Yeah.
Hatebreed was, oh, God. How many times they didn't show up?
Yeah, it was about 6 or 7 times, and when they did, there was about 18 of us because no one believed they were really going to come.
I remember the kids would be there. We'd have a couple hundred kids in there, and they'd say, "Well, are they coming?" I'd say, "Well, you know what? They're supposed to be here. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're booked." And actually, we were booking them. I mean, you know, well, I think I was booking. Well, Jamie was booking them himself at the time. So, and I had to even call him up. I said, "Jamie, where are you? Like, you know, these kids are waiting for you to go. They want you guys to play and all that, you know." And then he would cancel, and then probably after about the 3rd time, then they started getting serious, and they would, I don't know if they was when they had the record label going on or whatever, they were getting bigger, and then they were showing up, you know, they come and they'd be there, and the kids would say, "Are they coming?" I said, "Yeah, come on in." I remember times I had to give refunds.
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, what am I going to do? You didn't show up." I give the kids the money back and say, you know, here you go.
Remember Fury of 5?
Oh, God, Fury of 5. Oh, we had problems with them. Jeepers creepers. I forgot. I don't know the singer's name. Do you remember his name? What was his name?
James.
Are they still going?
No, he's still around. No,
Is he still
in the scene, yeah.
Well, I think he just got out of jail at the time. And
Not sure.
And they were playing the club at the time. It was multiple bands. We always ran like 4 or 5 bands. And they may have been the headliner. Probably were at the time. And we had problems with it. Well, he decided that he's going to break like every microphone in the place. And now we're down to like there's no microphones. So I says, you know, the rest of the bands can't play now. You know, there's no microphones. So, you know, I was a little perturbed about that. So I said, you know what, you guys are going to have to pay for these mics. Oh, no, we're not paying. So next thing you know, 10 minutes later, the cops were there. And I think it was not the singer, but who was the guy that's pretty much the head of the band?
Jay Fury.
Jay Fury said, "Hey, we don't want any trouble." He goes, I don't know what their pay was that night, but whatever it was, we put it towards the microphones and said, "Look, I don't mind an accident." I said, "Geez, they're playing around." I said, "If you want to break microphones, like break your own."
I think the sound guy had issues that night, and that's what set him off.
I don't know, whatever set it off, but then I know he just got out of jail. I think he was just, you know, maybe a pissed off guy, but anyway, it worked out. You know, we kind of like whatever pay they got, we deducted some, and we got through the night. The only problem was we had no more microphones left for the bands and stuff, so I don't even know what the hell we did that night, but
Yeah.
but anyways, towards the end of the night and everything was cool, so we got through. But it was a little trouble.
About do you have any memories of you know, you'd be like, you'd disappear a second and come back, and there'd be like 20 on 20 fights going on. You'd be like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, you probably, what's going on, right?
Well, I gotta say, the hardcore kids were pretty good. I mean, they pretty much took care of themselves. I mean, you know, once in a while, you know, you'd get the fist action and that, but I gotta say, most of the times the kids policed themselves. I mean, they did have security on. I don't know if you remember Rocco and you know, a couple of different people. It depends on the size.
They weren't
of the
really
show.
needed. Yeah.
Right, that's what I was saying. Usually, the kids police themselves. Once in a while, maybe to get that. Maybe get the gang in from Philly, and they were looking for fights a lot of times, so, you know, there might have been a little altercation. But I gotta say, most of the time, we didn't have, I mean, for hundreds of kids that were in the show, you know, at the show, they really were real good, you know. But once in a great while, I remember the one time, I forget what show it was. I don't know if you remember one. What was that girl? The one girl was a little chunky, a little heavy set. She always came to the hardcore shows. She was, you know, like a mixed half white, half black girl. I can't remember her name. Erica.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember the time she tore her leg out of the socket?
No.
Yeah. The one show, she's in there dancing and carrying on. She was a tough girl, real nice.
Yeah, she still does it.
Does she really?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Just dance for this for
Anyway, she was out there, dancing away. Next thing, the crowd like kind of opened up, and there she is laying on the floor. Now I think she was laying, on her stomach, or I'm not sure if on her back, but I could see her leg like twisted behind her. I said, boy, that don't look good. I said, Erica, are you okay? She goes, well, I can't move my leg. I said, well, I don't know if you broke it. I said, or what? But I says, I'm gonna have to get the ambulance done, So we got the ambulance, and then they got her, on the gurney, and they took her out. Oh, she goes, I can't miss the main act. I forget who it was that night. But this was early in the show. Like I said, we always had like 3 or 4 openers, and it was early, like maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I don't remember exactly, but she says, I got to see that. I said, well, you can't stay. I says, your leg is broke or something here. I don't know what's wrong, but you got to go. I says, you got to go to the hospital. So she went to the hospital, and sure enough, here it is, maybe 10:30, quarter 11. Here she is. She's back into place. I couldn't believe it. She came back because she wanted to see the main act. I couldn't remember who it was at the time. She might remember. And I guess her leg pulled out of her socket or hip or whatever the hell they did in the hospital. They pushed it back in, and they had her on crutches, but she was okay. You don't remember that?
Good job, Erica.
Oh man, I tell you, she was a tough kid for a girl. She was out there. She gave the boys a run for their money.
About just throwing band names out there, Crutch.
Oh God, Richie and Richie still?
Yeah, they got a band called Wisdom and Chains right now. And,
nice guys.
It's you got to check that out. They're growing strong.
I think I probably got introduced with Richie from Danny.
Okay.
I think they were pretty good friends at the time, or whatever.
Not
I don't
sure,
know how, but I think something makes me think Danny had something to do with it. Maybe at the time when he was throwing out some bands for me to book, because like I said, I was new at it. I didn't know nothing about hardcore, punk, and I didn't know even where to start booking the band. So Danny was turning me out to a lot of the bands. So I would ask Dan, how about this band? What do you think? Because then, before you know, agents started calling, and different people started calling the club, and they were sending out, sample DVD, CDs, and even some 7 inches at the time. We were still getting some 7 inches, which I couldn't even play. I never had the machine to play it. So we would, I would tell some of the kids from show to show, what do you think about these guys? What do you think about those? Oh, yeah, book them. They'll drop. And so that's how we got started. And like I said, once the word got around, I remember the one fellow, he set up the CC website. I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't even have a computer.
There wasn't.
And I forget, one of the fellas that came in said, Vince, how about he set up a website for CCs and all that? I said, well, look, I don't know nothing about it. He said, at that point, he says, you want to do it, go ahead, whatever it is. It wasn't a lot of money a month. I forget, with $50 or $100, he did it for me. Okay. And then that started, I think, getting things rolling, because then with the internet going on, and also when the kids used to come in week to week, or sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, I started making up the little schedules on them.
Yeah.
The schedules were good. I used to make the schedules, like I'd have bands coming 2 or 3 months in advance. I'd make the schedules up and give everybody a little card. I'd get 4 out of a sheet of paper. Like I say, it was a low budget operation, so we were watching the Bucks, and the kids would keep those on their at home on their nightstands or whatever, and whatever bands they used to like, they'd come and see.
Yeah. You miss it?
Yeah.
Those days?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a good time. It kind of reminds me of when I was a kid, like I was 14, 15 years old. We used to have a park here called Rocky Glen Park, and we used to work at the park
to
when
go
we were
there.
kids. And man, we used to, we'd run the rides, and we were 15 years old, and we used to make like $1 an hour, which we didn't care. We could work for free because we'd meet all the young girls, and we had such a great time. It kind of reminds me of our era when we used to have the park. Kind of reminds me of what the kids, the fun they would have at CC's, So it's always things to remember. You remember when you get older, the good things in life, Forget about money and everything else.
Yeah.
You always remember the good times, though,
Yeah.
And I know a lot of kids did enjoy it, and they thanked me, and for different bands and all that. So I got to say it was more of a positive thing, But I remember Earth Crisis, those guys. Like
Carl brought you guys up over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Carl, they're still
Are
going.
they still going?
Yeah, they're still going. Yeah, brought you up.
What?
Yeah. Cold as Life brought you guys up?
No.
Yeah.
Where was the show at?
Reading. Chris moved from Mushmouth, now owns a club. He owns Reverb in Reading.
Reverb is called, huh?
Yeah, and he had a festival. East Coast Tsunami, and there was a lot of New York bands there, and I started interviewing people there, and they all brought up the use. It was at PA Hardcore, they brought up CC's.
Yeah, and I think there's still a website going on.
Vinny
right?
Stigma brought it up.
No.
Now stick
Yes,
front,
he
yeah.
did.
Get out, Vinny brought it up.
When you see the
I gotta
DVD,
see it.
you'll see all these
Oh,
comments.
yeah, I gotta see that.
First thing the guy from VOD said, I
Tim,
asked, I said,
yep.
what about, how do you feel about Pennsylvania hardcore? He was like, fucking CC first two.
Yep. They all went right to CC,
I was
so
like,
you made an impact, my friend.
Well, I guess we, at the time we were rolling pretty good. You know, we had a lot of bands, and like you say, we were like the hardcore club of northeast of Pennsylvania. And they were saying at the time, so we really, I guess we did make an impact. You don't realize it until later on, more and more. You know, and I'm glad to see that's still going on. You know.
Yeah, it's got
But I
big.
guess it's limited now with the places to play.
There hasn't been a true home since you closed down, but Chris and Anna and all those guys, they always seem to find something.
To try something.
Yeah, there's always
Keep going.
something going on to keep it going.
Yeah.
So there's a scene that's not going anywhere.
It's not too good. Well, I tell you what, it's a labor of love because it really, you know what, I just kept it going. I just paid off the sewer bill from CC's only about 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
The bill was like $19,500. I never paid any. I never made a payment. Finally, they came after me. I got it still hanging on my wall in my office. It was wow. I finally paid them up. I made a deal with them. They cut some of the money down, the penalties. I remember I said, "Oh, let me get those one of the bills from CC's." It was like I say, it was a labor of love. It was, it was tough to make money there, but hey, like I said, we kept it going. We had a good time. I know it'll be a lot of impact. It'll be an impact on a lot of the kids of the future. So,
Yes.
Even like yourself in your 30s.
Yes, we all thank you, Vince,
But,
for an amazing time.
Yeah, I tell you what, and they still have. Somebody's got a website or something. They got it on.
There's stuff. There's YouTube videos from
Yeah,
CC's
YouTube,
all the
right?
time.
A
Yeah.
lot on YouTube.
Jay Hudak has a lot of
Is
them
that
up.
is the kid? Some kid in Florida. What's his name? The kid in Florida. I remember him calling me one time. I did look at it on the computer.
I found a set of Converge at CC's. And Converge is like
Jay Hudak.
gigantic now.
You remember Jay Hudak from
Jay?
Wolfsburg?
Oh yeah, Jay.
He has tons of them up. Tons of those up.
Then there was some guy in
Shed, bands like Shed.
Really?
Yeah, Catfish Bullhead, like all of them.
Oh, how about Matty? What's Matty? Is Matty
Matt's
still going?
all ready to do this DVD.
crazy.
Matt's probably all pumped to hearing his name right now.
he was going
I'm
crazy.
interviewing him. I was supposed to do it this weekend, but it's not good. I'm gonna catch him in the next round. But
Matty was a crazy son of a gun. Oh my God. What is he in now? What band is he with now?
he's a drum teacher, amazingly, and
Really?
he was like a tech for a lot of the bands.
Yeah, he was
I mean,
wild.
like Less Than Jake, and you have to ask
Yeah.
Matt. I interviewed Matt,
Oh,
but
my
Matt's been all over the place.
Yeah,
helping
we
out
did
bands.
Less Than Jake, the Real Big Fish. I remember at the time, like I say, Mo and
Sheer Terror,
Sheer Terror. Every hardcore band. We did.
25 to Life.
Oh God, Rick the Life. Where is he at?
To bring the flea market up, remember?
The only problem, he had so many bands, I couldn't keep up with the names. I think every week we changed the name of the band. It was 25 to Life and was what was
Coming
it?
correct.
Correct. So I couldn't keep track with him, but he was a good guy. I liked Rick, and he brought us merchandise. He hopefully made a couple bucks, I guess.
He did definitely did.
But Rick was good. Rick was over. But I think I said it. We must have did everything. Oh, how about Sick of It All?
Yeah,
Sick of It All?
they played. They're the
still
headlining
going?
band. They never stopped.
Oh my God.
They're so big.
They played
Wow.
the fest 2 years ago, and it was at an outdoor park.
Where's that?
And when Montclair,
Phoenixville.
it was Montclair in
Oh
Phoenixville.
my God, really?
This park was like, and when I say it was packed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the pivot, I've never seen anything like
They're
it.
still-
Earth
they-
Crisis played that.
Oh,
H2O played that.
good.
H2O still going.
H2O still going?
Yeah.
They were at the
You were
festival.
one of the first H2O shows ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, was up here.
H2O, they're from.
We
was it
had
New York?
H2O
New
in
York
front of
or
like
Jersey?
18 people on
No,
New
they're
York.
from Jersey, right?
New York.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
hope but it's New York, yeah.
There.
Yeah, right?
All the New York bands, the first things they would say was CC's, and I was like, I cannot wait to get to where this place
Yeah,
is.
he never
Yeah.
saw it, so he was all pumped to get here too.
Like I said, it's different where I'm from. It's different
Yeah.
down there.
Well, when you see Vinny and them guys, tell them we're still gone. Come and see us.
You can
My
tell the
mother and
camera,
father's
you gotta
still-
make sure
my
they
mother
hear
and
it.
father's still alive. So someday if we have a club, I'll have to have my father at the door. 95 years old. I don't know.
That's right.
But
Be cleaned
yeah,
up.
we had a great time. That was a good thing. But unfortunately, we had one neighbor that didn't care for the looks of the
Is
kids.
that
and
what was the beginning of the end?
pretty much was the gas station there.
Across the street?
Yeah, he just whatever reason. I mean, we didn't have really any neighbors other than.
What was he complaining about? Noise, the fight, what?
Oh, I guess he was complaining about. He said the kids were using his bathroom. They were tagging the device. Look, I don't know why they're using your bathroom. They had like what, 4 bathrooms and
Yeah.
6 stalls. I said. I said.
And outside, between the cars, yeah.
You know, there wasn't any reason. I said, why didn't you lock your bathrooms? There's no reason for anybody to go over there unless they're a customer, a gas customer. I said, well, But whatever, that started it. Then they started a little at a time, bothering me more and more. And then they started saying, oh, the building's not up to code. That started around,
So they
I'd say
targeted
around
you.
05. Then they said that the wiring wasn't bad in the building. They were just pretty
Picking
much
at
like
you.
you said, tag. Yeah. So I started rewiring. I rewired the whole building myself, 3 floors. Probably took me a year. I did it in my spare time. I did it all, you know. So they couldn't bother me for that anymore. So.
Did you find something else?
Yeah, they just found something else. It was the kids, the earrings, the tattoos.
We were different. Now now
just-
everyone looks like us.
Right.
exactly,
So
exactly.
I guess it was too much culture shock at the time. So that seems like that's when it started. So I don't know. So a little at a time, they needled, and finally they got the. See, if I didn't have a liquor license, I probably would have kept going. I don't know for sure, but see, with the liquor control board,
Yeah.
that's when they stepped in and started saying, well,
Yeah.
you know.
You're not gonna really make
that's
much on the bands without the liquor. So
Well,
it's
you
kinda-
know, I mean, like I say, that's why it was tough, because some nights it was just all kids under 21, you know, or it was straight edge show, there was no booze, you know,
Mhm.
so.
I actually have had a question for you this
Yes.
whole time. I know you booked Coalesce there.
Right.
They were
Coalesce,
one of my
yeah.
favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have Botch up here?
Botch.
They were out of
Don't
Seattle. They
Ah.
were out around the same time.
Sure.
But there's no info online. They broke up. They
don't
influenced the
believe so.
whole. All the new bands that are huge now.
Yeah.
They were influenced by them, and they. I don't
I remember Bloodlet
Bloodlet.
and the Acid Bath. You had
Oh,
Acid Bath.
Are they still going?
Now they stopped.
Yeah, they had the clown pictures, remember I had them from the.
But the only
record
time I
company
saw
had
in
the
my life
clowns.
was at your club.
Yeah.
Guy from Acid Bath does awesome blues. The vocalist does awesome
really?
solo blues stuff.
Oh, I-
Covers Elvis songs. It's amazing.
Really? Yeah, actually, I think it was their record company, which I don't remember, but they sent the big posters, glosses of the clowns, because he used to.
Yeah,
John Wayne
yeah,
Gacy
yeah.
used to paint clowns
Yeah,
in the prison. So for whatever reason, they took that as their.
Their logo.
You don't
I
have,
guess.
do you have any old merch here or any of that? Flyers, posters,
I
none
don't
of
think I
that?
have, like I said, that photo, because I found it. My mother gave me the
Yeah.
book. I have to get a look at it now. I gave it all to the kids. I gave it all away, all the DVD, CDs, and all that. All the kids. I said, here, take it. I get the one.
Yeah, I hear you.
But we had, like I said, we had Roadrunner, what's his name, Metal Blade, Victory, we probably did every Victory band.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with the straight edge and all that, they were all on Victory. I think we did all their bands, some of the other a lot of the smaller.
Central Media.
Yeah, all the smaller indie labels. Oh, you know what else we had? 7 Seconds. Remember we had
Yes,
those
you
guys?
did.
7 Seconds, I remember those guys. Wow, there's so many, I'd have to really sit down and think, there was so many bands. But no, some, we played them a little more than others, but we've done a lot of bands with me from California. You know, because I was hooked up with that, what the heck was her name out there? She's the one that had, she had the big bands. She used to have, what the heck was her name? Stormy Shepherd.
Okay.
She had the big bands. I mean, she had like, what's that ska band we were just talking about? The
Real Big
punk band?
Fish.
The Big Fish?
Yeah, she had the Real Big Fish. It's all like the huge bands. I mean, I think she had even, what the hell was her name? It's a big punk band. They made it big. She had a lot of those big punk bands. I mean, they went national, you know, big bands. She had a lot of good stuff. And I remember, I did get a lot of bands up for her. So the smaller ones. I remember the time we were supposed to do Marilyn Manson. And then I said, geez, I
Man's
never
Green
heard of
guy.
these guys. They said, Marilyn Manson. I said, geez, who's these guys? And I'm thinking, I never heard of these guys, you know? So I think I asked some of the kids, they said, well, it's kind of like, not like hardcore. They're more like, I don't know, they're different,
Yeah.
you know? So I wasn't really interested in it at the time. I had something else booked. Then I think they went to Wilkes-Barre.
That did. Man of Screen.
Man is Screen, and I think the guy walked in and walked out.
Yep, they said they weren't playing.
The room was too small, they didn't like the sound system,
Yep.
whatever.
How's
And I guess they took off, they got big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They went on tour with Nine Inch Nails and got gigantic.
yeah, they got huge, so they looked out for them. But I remember the agent calling me up. I said, I don't know who these guys are. I said, geez, I'll ask the kids. I used to say, well, I'll
Yeah.
get back then. I'll ask
Yeah.
the kids when they come in because, like I say,
They were on an indie label too.
Yeah.
They were on Nothing
That's
Records.
true. We totally
Yeah,
forgot about that
super,
till just
super.
now. You brought that up.
Really?
I remember those guys.
When
Yeah.
he walked in Man of Screen, he was like, nope, I'm not
Nah,
playing.
the guy walked out. What's his name? The singer, whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever his name is.
Bob
His
something.
name's Brian Warner.
Okay.
Brian. Well, whatever.
He's known for being an asshole like that.
Well, that's what I heard. He walked out.
He's infamous.
So
for
we're
that.
gonna have to definitely wrap this up.
All right.
because we gotta
Thank
get to
you
our
for
next
everything.
location.
Keep on going. Keep
Anything
the
else you want to
hardcore
say?
going.
Anything else you want to say? Like final words?
Hey, keep it going. Keep it real. Keep the hardcore going.
Awesome.
I'm glad I'm part of it. Thank you.